Hillsborough deputies say a 64-year-old woman was killed in her own home, and they believe her own son is responsible. Early this morning in Brandon, Julie Ayler was stabbed to death, and the hunt for the killer is on. Fox 13's Evan Axelbank is live at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office tonight with more on this tragic story. Evan, what can you tell us?
Well, the victim is described as a loving grandmother who used to walk the neighborhood with her young grandchildren in tow. Neighbors say that she was too young to die. The shock is still setting in.
Why? Why would you kill my mom? You took the only thing I had.
And it may get even worse for Christina Blair. Deputies say they're looking for Julie Ayler's son, 37-year-old John Ayler. He's wanted for first-degree murder and armed burglary. He has an extensive arrest history in Hillsborough County, including for theft and drug possession.
She was an amazing mom. She took care of her kids. She took care of her grandson. She took care of my daughter. She takes care of everybody. There ain't not one person I don't know she ain't took care of.
Deputies were called to a home on Silvercrest Lane at around 4:40 Monday morning to find the 64-year-old grandmother stabbed and dying.
Normally, I'm actually awake at that time because that's when my husband gets up for work. And this time, I was actually sleeping, didn't hear or see a thing.
There's no word yet as to what the motive might have been, but neighbors say they cannot possibly imagine what enraged someone to the point they'd kill a 64-year-old woman who was known to take her grandkids for long walks.
She's still young enough to have had a lot of life left in her, and it's just awful. I don't even have words to describe.
Deputies were posted around the stunned neighborhood as family begins to wait for justice.
Yeah, we're all going to gather strength because nothing's going to happen to my family. My main thing right now is to keep my family together.
And deputies say that this is an isolated incident, and they believe that the public is not in danger at this point. They have not yet said what leads they have as far as catching this suspect, the woman's own son.
2 people are dead tonight after a violent altercation in Irvine. Police shoot and kill a man who was actively stabbing a woman who turns out to be that man's mother. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam live in Irvine with the brand new details just in. Tim?
Michelle, police describe, or actually neighbors describe this crime scene as sad and disturbing. Police shot and killed Parvea Montaser from Las Vegas. They say the 37-year-old was found stabbing his mother, Parvin Montaser, to death.
I have lived here more than 50 years, and it's never has anything like this happened before.
Jeannie Homer is stunned by the crime just steps from her door. It's where Irvine police say Jeannie's neighbor was murdered.
And I've been seeing her regularly, for 40 years. She was maybe pretty quiet, stayed around the house, but she would walk her dog, and she would always greet me in a friendly way.
The killing happened here near Green Tree Lane in Irvine. A 911 caller reporting the attack. Officers arrived to witness the woman's son stabbing her violently. Police releasing this image of the murder weapon. During the attack, that's when Irvine police say police opened fire.
I was at the swimming pool, and I heard these shots, like 4 or 5 shots.
The suspect killed.
It's tragic. This is absolutely tragic.
This police shooting comes after another officer's shooting on Monday. Investigators say a former caregiver stabbed a wheelchair-bound man to death with a knife. A minivan seen crashed into his residence off Whistling Swan. Irvine police later tracking the suspect down with the alleged murder weapon still in his hand. At some point, investigators say the former caregiver threatened the responding officer, who then shot and killed him.
This is very, very unique for our city to have an officer-involved shooting and to have 2 so close together.
As for this stabbing victim, she was 72 years old. Now, police are canvassing this neighborhood, talking to witnesses to try to piece this motive together. The district attorney's office is investigating both police shootings.
And we have new details on a terrifying scene that played out at El Camino College in Torrance. A former student repeatedly stabbed his mother with a knife, then jumped off a parking structure. The mother ran into the middle of Redondo Beach Boulevard before she collapsed. That woman is now hospitalized in critical condition. Despite paramedics' attempts to save her son, he was pronounced dead at the scene.